Baixens, Chemistry for Construction. Sellador RX512 High Thickness Fillers. In this video we are going to show Baixens' proposal for applying cement-based waterproofing products on substrates with damp problems or in permanent contact with water. Baixens offers a suitable range of products with the perfect qualities to achieve a good waterproofing. A waterproofing product must be highly resistant to temperature changes, resistant to environmental aggressions, waterproof and permeable to water vapor, resistant to support alkalinity, easy to maintain. In order to perform a good job, we can choose between a wide range of premium quality materials. Sellador RX506 Special for cement supports. Sellador RX506P Special for gypsum supports. Sellador RX512 High Thickness Fillers. X513 Micro Mortar Special for drinking water. Sellador Elastic RX515. In the next example, we will see a basement waterproofing process, where damp from the exterior has dilapidated the support, making it weaker and producing flakes in the paint. The target for the waterproofing will be to impede water entry from outside, negative pressure, thus avoiding saltpeter formation and aesthetic defects. The product chosen for this waterproofing operation is Sellador RX512 High Thickness Filler, reinforced with our fiberglass mesh RG102 Special Mortar. As a first step, we are going to use our Reparation solvent-based RX501 as a petrifying consolidator for the support. Actions to take: cleanup process, support preparation, fiberglass mesh preparation, waterproofing application. For this we will use the following tools that should be ready for use: spatula, filter mask, protective goggles, milling machine, spalter or flat brush, plastic bucket, brush, scissors or cutter, large container, electric mixer, trowel, sponge. Cleanup process. Before carrying out the work, in order to avoid accidents, we must protect ourselves properly using protective equipment. Filter mask will prevent us breathing powder particles from the milling process. Protective goggles will prevent particles harming the eyes. Afterwards, the support will be cleaned up, removing loose mortar with the help of the milling machine. Next, we will remove the powder with a spalter or flat brush. Support preparation. After removing any trace of dust, for more security we will fix and consolidate the support with our Reparation solvent-based RX501. After pouring the product into a clean container, with the help of a brush we apply it over the whole substrate. Once the application is finished, we let it dry for a minimum of 4 hours before proceeding to the waterproofing. This is how the support looks once treated with Reparation solvent-based RX501. Fiberglass mesh preparation, fitting cut or template. Once the support is dry, we measure and cut our fiberglass mesh RG102 Special Mortar, which will act as a reinforcement to Sellador RX512 High Thickness Filler. Waterproofing product application. First, pour the water into the mixing container. Afterwards, add Sellador RX512 High Thickness Filler at a rate of 32%. That is to say, 1.6 litres of water per 5 kilos of powder. Mix the product, preferably with an electric mixer, until achieving a homogeneous and lump-free paste. Let it settle for a few minutes. Once the product is mixed and settled, we apply it with a spatula or trowel, always applying the first coat vertically with upward strokes. Applying material and removing the excess, trying to smooth and cover any surface defect. Joints will be performed in the opposite direction with downward strokes. When the first coat has been applied and before it dries, we place our fiberglass mesh RG102 special mortar, lightly applying pressure with the help of a spatula or trowel, causing it to sink into the first coat of Sellador RX512 high thickness filler. And afterwards applying another coat fresh on fresh of the product to cover it totally. If a rough finish is required, the product can be rubbed with a damp sponge when it starts to set. This operation is called floating. Before any waterproofing, we should take into account that the surface must be sound, clean and free of all traces of saltpeter, fungi, microorganisms, powder, grease or any type of matter that may prevent good adhesion to the support. Supports with traces of fungi, algae or any other kind of microorganism should be treated with RX524 Clean Musk. If supports have traces of saltpeter, they should be removed with RX523 Clean Sal. Powdery substrates that are not damp should be reinforced with a sealant, Reparation range, as dust hinders adhesion. Similarly, old supports consisting of dead burnt or loose plaster should be repaired. Inadvisable to restore unrepaired worn supports. Hollow spots should be scraped and removed, leaving a regular support to which a layer of sealant, Reparation range, should be applied, so as to remove any remains of powder. Structurally sound supports are those made of brick, cement, gypsum or any other material capable of supporting the weight and tension given from following coats, without breaking up or suffering structural alterations. In hot and windy conditions, the support should previously be dampened, since Sellador can be applied on damp substrates but without water emissions. If there are cracks, these should be fixed. That is to say, they should be opened and sealed inside with the sealant Reparation RX501. Let this dry for a minimum of 4 hours, then fill them up to the top with RX515 Sellador Elastic, mixed to a thick consistency in order to reduce natural slipping of the product and adapting it to the crack filling process. The proper proportion would be 300 grams of liquid per kilo of powder. For more information, ask for our manuals at the nearest point of sale or visit our webpage. Baixens' policy is based on research, innovation and fitting our products to new trends, basing ourselves in the current regulations and maintaining quality as the descriptive, crucial and differentiating factor in our brands. Our priority for client satisfaction, key factor in endurance in a demanding market, is what guides us to versatility and adaptability to new technologies, while focusing on the company's traditional operational factor based on models of quality assurance and environmental respect. Cutting-edge chemistry in the service of construction. Baixens.